Allison Prior, and today we're going to paint this beautiful painting with a rainbow. I'm going to show you a simple, easy trick to do that rainbow and make it perfect. And I have some really nice techniques to show you, highlights, and to do this beautiful landscape. All right, let's get started. And I'm going to show you how to paint all this with only 3 colors, your primary colors plus white, and that's it. It's the only 3 colors I used in this painting. I'll show you how to do that today too. These have really nice bristles and they're great for your trees and your bushes. And then we have a flat synthetic brush, chiseled edge, and I have a flat a Filbert brush, which is chiseled edge and synthetic. And I also have a liner brush. So as you can see, I have my tape halfway. It's not halfway, it's under halfway. So as you can see, I have my tape under halfway to get this painting started. I like to start somewhere, okay? Because a lot of people ask me, I don't know where to start my painting. I don't know how to get it started. So the first thing you need to do is look at your reference photo or what you're planning on painting and start with dividing up the horizon line if you have one. If you don't, and it's just a background for still life, then you just do the whole background first and put your still life on top of it, okay? So then you pick out your brushes that you need, and I introduced the brushes and paints to you earlier, so just, you know, pick out your paints and your brushes that you need, and then get started on your sky or your background, depending on what you're looking at. And what I'm going to do is, today I'm only going to use my 3 colors of my today we're going to use just the primary colors, red, yellow, and blue, and some white, okay? And a bit of a mess here. And so 3 primary colors plus white. That's how we're going to do this painting today. We're going to get some beautiful colors. And I'm going to show you how to mix them, okay? So the first thing I want to do is I want to put on my sky and some clouds. And then we're going to put a beautiful rainbow here. So this main painting is mainly about a rainbow, okay? So I want, because I don't have paintings with rainbows in them. I think I did one rainbow, but it was different a technique than what I'm going to show you today. This is a very easy technique, and you can do lots of rainbows when you get this one done today. All right, so I'm just going to do a sky, very simple, light, some blue, a little bit of red, and not yellow, and white. I'm going to make it a little darker in the corners like I like to do. Alright, just throwing it on there. Look, I even picked up a big pile of white that time. Just the way I do it. It's just the way I do it, okay? But this is how you start. Get your sky on first, okay? Leave some holes. If you have a hard time with clouds, just leave some holes in your sky. That's all. Use mostly white, but up in the corners. Okay, see, and that will blend nicely. And I'm just going to darken it up in the corner a little bit. So just play with it. Have fun. Don't struggle. Try not to struggle. Just put it on there and see what happens. And if anything goes, at least with your sky, if anything goes wrong, you can just repaint it, right? So you know, be happy with what and if you're not happy with it, repaint it. And that way you don't have to repaint the whole painting. You just do one piece at a time. And then when you're happy with that, then you can move on to something else. So down here, I'm going to keep it a little lighter because the sky usually, look at the mess I'm making. Isn't that amazing? Now, what I want to do is, I'm finding the paint is drying really fast on me, so I'm just gonna mist it with some of my magic white, okay? I just made up my own bottle here. I have the recipe. I'll leave the link below for you. And I'm just going to mist it with my magic white. That will keep the paint wet longer, and it will make it easier for me to blend my paint. Once it starts to dry, it's very difficult. But look how beautiful, smooth that's coming out now. See? What a difference it makes. I don't use it all the time, but I do like to use it in certain areas, like large areas, where the paint can dry fast. Okay? See? Isn't that beautiful? Let's just look. Every time I use this, it's just like I used it for the first time. As you can tell in my voice, I get really excited about it because white that Bob Ross and Bill Alexander used in their oil paintings. They're the ones that came up. Bill Alexander was the one that came up with magic white, and then Bob Ross called it liquid white, and I don't know what to call it. So I'm just calling it magic white or liquid white so you can get an idea of what I'm talking about. So people will say, oh, that was the Bob Ross mixture. But Bob Ross's recipe was for oil paints, and there's none out there for acrylics that I know of, okay? I think Bob Ross might have one, but it's a bit expensive, but you can check it out on my Amazon. But this way you can, look, see that already? Now that's not bad, is it? Now you can add a bit more white to your brush and go over those spots that you just did just by painting in a little more white. Use the corner of your brush to make some circles. That will keep it soft. The magic white is making it easy to blend. Look, it's very soft. Look at that. Really nice. If any of you guys already use this magic white, my recipe, let me know in the comments if it worked for you or if if it helped you. I like to know, because I don't get I get a lot of people say they used it and they loved it. But I like to get more. I like to get more feedback for that, just to see, because I don't want to steer you wrong or anything like that, right? Okay. Look at that. And it's different. It's a different look to it, isn't it? When you leave those openings in the sky like that, you know, then you get some really nice clouds without even trying. Because a lot of people ask me, I'm having a really hard time painting clouds. Well, this is an easier way to paint clouds, just by leaving holes in your sky when you paint. Look, gorgeous, gorgeous. How can you not love painting? Look at the thrill you get from just painting. It amazes you, because you only got to brush and paint, and look what happens. Isn't that gorgeous? Now I'm going to do the rainbow, but I'm going to let that dry. Now, because I missed it with my magic white, it's going to take a little longer to dry, so I'm going to use a hair dryer. Now here's the trick to make the perfect rainbow. You can't go wrong. Get something round, okay? It depends on the size of your canvas. Mine's 11 by 14, so I don't need a huge. But if you've got a 16 by 20 or bigger, you're going to have to get a bigger, something that's going to help you get that really beautiful round look to your rainbow. So I'm just going to use this because this would be perfect for mine, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay it here, and I'm going to take some chalk so that I can make that perfect round. Okay, so round, round, round we go. Make sure your chalk is dark enough. I don't have any really dark chalk, but use your plate to guide you. I don't know if you can see that or not, but this is a really nice shape for a rainbow. Now all you have to do now is all you need is that one line. You can certainly put another line there if you like to. All you have to do is take your plate and then lift it up a little bit and then make another one, but I'm going to attempt it without doing that. I like to try things. If it don't work out, I'll just take it out. So I'm going to take my flat brush, get the size of the brush that you might need. This one suits me perfect, so that's as big as I want it, but if you have a bigger canvas or even a smaller canvas, you have to adjust your brushes to the size of your canvas. So you got a bigger canvas and you want a bigger rainbow, you're going to use a bigger brush. But make sure it's flat, chiseled edge synthetic. That will be the best to work for you. So what I'm going to do is, first of all, I'm going to try this way. Okay, I'm going to put my red here, wipe it off. Alright, and then I'm going to try my yellow right next to it. Yellow, right? I'm going to use a little tiny bit, as you can see, right? I don't need a big lot yet. Well, I don't need a big lot, period. I don't think. We're going to find out. I'm just doing this now, trying it out with, you know. with something else. So let's try that. So first thing I'm going to do is take my brush and go through my white paint on both sides and just wipe it off like this, okay? Then I'm going to take my brush and I'm going to take that red, yellow, and blue. I'm going to drag it. And you can see already that you have a really nice rainbow, okay? See that? Everybody see that? Now I'm going to put some more white on it because I want to make sure I get enough paint picked up to go on my here. Now I'm going to use the edge of my brush to follow that line, so I try not to go too crooked. I don't want to go crooked. So because I'm standing up, I might make it a little bit of a crookedness, and if you're right-handed, you can start over here, you know, or whatever you want to do. Use that line for a guide, pull up, use that line for a guide, follow the line, and even if you run out of paint, keep going, alright? Keep going, keep going, keep going, because this way you'll be able to see. Keep going, push hard, push, 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 keep going, push, 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 push. Alright, now we got a pretty little rainbow. Now we just got to fill it in because now you have more to follow again. So all you need is more paint. Look, I'm putting lots of paint on my brush, going through the color, and that was only a couple of little colors, wasn't it? Like I didn't have a little tiny bit, right? So now I got paint on there, and I might start from this side because this is where I lost most of the paint. As long as you follow that line, oops, make sure your red is up, make sure your red is up, sorry. Keep going till you meet the center there, because we're doing pretty good with that side over there, so we don't need too much. I think that looks good as it is, actually. I don't think I need more. So if you need to go over it again, you can either wait for it to dry or you can try again by putting white on your brush, going back into those colors. If they get too light, just add a little bit of red on the end of your brush. And then you'll be able to pick up some more red. Or do what we did before, okay? Do what we did before. Put some red here, yellow, just a little dab, a bit of yellow will do, yeah? A little bit of blue. Wipe off your brush, your palette knife, or a toothpick, or whatever you want to pick up your paint with, but you need something small enough so you don't get too much paint. And there, alright, there's your blue. So, there we go, and you got lots of white paint on your brush. Make sure you got the red side up, don't do what I did, and take that, let's go, okay, let's go this way, we're fine. Touch your brush off that, push and pull, push and pull. Look at all those nice colors, see that? Now you got lots of paint, and you go back and get some more white, and now you got lots of paint on your brush. Practice this on paper first, because it's a little bit, it's easy, but it can be tricky. So just take your time, and I'm just going to fill in the spots. I like the way this one came out here. I don't want to go back over that again. So I'm just going to take this and follow my line. Look at your line on the edge of your brush. Look at your line. Stay inside that line there. Now that's pretty, isn't it? I think we did good. I like it. I'm happy with that. And I hope you are too. So give that a try. Great, easy way and a nice little trick to do your rainbow. All right. Now that came up pretty good. So what we're going to do next is we are going to take our tape off so we can start working at the bottom of our canvas. Alright, so now we are going to take our tape off so we can work at the bottom of our canvas. And pretty, isn't it? So I'm going to put, there's going to be some water down here. So I'm just going to put all blue down there, really light blue to reflect the sky, but most of it's going to be covered up with land, okay? So I'm just going to do that anyway, just the way I like to work. You can do it, you can do your land first and put your water on after. It's entirely up to you, but I like making things simple. You know, I don't like working around things. I don't like working around. See how light I'm using? Because I don't really need too much down here. So mostly white, a little bit of blue. Because I want the center of it to be nice and light anyway for my water. So just put that on there and we'll get that done. The fun part about this is you don't have to worry about, you know, making certain strokes, but it's a good way to practice blending. See, I'm blending everything together. And how I'm doing that, I'm not going to miss the bottom part, okay, because I don't need to. It's only a small area. I'm just going to make sure I have lots of white paint. I find adding white paint to your colors, really, it brightens them up, and it makes your paint blend beautifully, okay. So always keep lots of white handy. That's that's what you're going to be buying the most. Have lots of white, and you're going to be using that the most, okay? Especially if you're doing winter scenes and things. But you need, white can add, it can make your paint opaque because a lot of it is transparent, the reds and that, and some of the blues, and this way the white will brighten up your colors. All right. Not going to worry too much. Just stay underneath there. Don't go up too high, that way you won't ruin your horizon, okay? And it doesn't matter because we're going to be putting trees and some land there. But in the center here, let's just keep that bright. All right. Now, we want to decide, so we don't need to worry about this too much. Just put on a little bit of paint, not to worry. It's the way I do it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to figure out where I want my land, all right? So I'm going to take my brush. I'm not going to use chalk this time because my paint is still wet. I'm going to take my brush and I'm going to put some blue on there just so I can use that to help me. So my water is going to come from back here somewhere under the rainbow. So my water will probably, the way I want it, okay? I'm thinking here. That's probably going around. We want to make it look like it's going off in the distance. So we got to be careful that we don't. So I'm not sure. All right. So I'm going to bring it around here, I think, and back in here, back out. And then this one here, I'll probably bring it out. Let's say in. And out, and in, and down there somewhere. Okay, so that gives me an idea of what way I'm going to have my colors. Now, I'm going to go to my bristle brush. Bristles are great for making really nice grassy areas. Now, we only have 3 colors to work with. We only have our primary colors, so here's how we're going to make our green. We're going to take our blue and our yellow. We have a really pretty green. I'm going to add a little tiny bit of red to it to make it more earthy. See, isn't that pretty? Look at that. Just by adding a little bit of red. And that's only the 3 primary colors. And you know, so you can save a lot of money on paints if you just use the primary colors. But look, tap, 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 tap. Just look at all that texture I'm getting just by tapping with a bristle brush. Look. Now that paint's still a bit wet. Make sure you dry your paint, okay? Just here. I'll dry that now because I'm only getting the light color, so I want a darker color. So I'll dry that. Look. Well, I was making my rainbow. It's pretty, isn't it? Okay, so our blue, yellow, and a bit of red. See how the red darkens it? If your colors get too, you don't like them that way, just add a little more yellow. brightened up a bit. Get it more on the green side. That's nice. Look at that. So you can come up here because we're going to put some trees here. It's okay. And we will fill all that in. You want to get a little more, you know, like you can add a little more of a little, to get different shades of grass. If you make it too muddy, you don't like it, start over, okay? Clean your brush really good. And start over. So you stay away from there if you don't want that color. Put on your blue first, okay? And then your yellow. So you put on enough yellow to get it nice and green. And a little bit of red to make it a bit earthy. And then you go back in again. See? So once you get to know what colors to use and how to mix them, then you'll be able to paint without having to worry about that much. The only thing you'll have to worry about is getting it the way you want it. Once you get most of the basics out of the way, then you can paint and have more fun with it. That you're not concentrating on how do I mix these colors, how do I, you know. So you got to get the basics out of the way, like learning how to play piano or an instrument, or and you have to, you get the basics out of the way, and then you can start working on the songs themselves. Once you learn the chords, and you know what I'm saying, right? Okay. So I'm just mixing up. Now you go back to remix. It's not going to be exactly the same color. That's fine, as long as it's on the green side. Alright, so don't worry too much, right? You know, like make sure it's just green. It's not going to turn out purple, or unless you want that, you know. But see how much texture is in there? Isn't that nice? Tap, 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 tap. Don't go back. I'm just trying to experiment, and when you go back over this up here, the canvas will come through because it's starting to get tacky. So I'm just trying to things out so you can see me what I'm doing, and then you can know not to do what I'm doing. Just do things that work. So if you see that your paint is coming through, your canvas is coming through, that means that your paint is starting to dry, it's getting tacky. And no, don't spray it with magic white. I know what some of you are thinking. Well, I should spray it with magic white? No, don't. Because it'll take too long, and it will, because we're working on a smaller area. I can say, well, yeah, go ahead if you want, but I think you'll probably get frustrated if it won't dry. Just look at that texture. All right. That's coming out pretty nice, isn't it? I think it's coming out lovely. All right, next we will use our fan brush. Let's get some background trees going. Let's get some cute little background trees going, hey? So get a small fan brush. If you got a small one, there'll be better, because, well, like I said, it depends on the size of your canvas. So if you got a bigger canvas, you need a bigger so depends on the size of your canvas. All right, that's what's going to happen to your brushes. So I'm going to make a really dark color. We're not picking up, we don't have any black, we only have our primary colors, and that's what we're working with today, right? So I mean, you can do a full painting with only 3 colors. All right. Alright, so we got dark green by adding a little blue and red, blue and yellow first to get however dark you want it. The more blue you use, the darker it is. And then a little bit of red to earth it up. Okay, and we're going to get some trees going here. So let's just do some background trees. Let's just get a little top here, and then we'll tap down. Put one here, put one here. Let's just decide where we want them, okay? One here. Alright, we got some here. Alright. All over the place. We'll come out to the end here. We get a couple little ones there. There's going to be some bigger ones here, so we don't need to worry too much here, but I like to have some trees here. All right. All right. And then want some little trees come. I'm just going to pull them up there. Just pull them up there a little bit. We need lots of paint. Some blue and green. A little bit more blue than green, and that way we get a nice dark. I'll add a little trees here. Just get where you want your trees before you actually make the trees. And then you're going to make your trees. So, if your paint is getting dry and just put some water in your brush, make it damp, more damp. Loosen up the paint, and then just start adding some trees. Like, keep your top and then just tap at it. Tap, 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 back and forth. That's all. Just use the corner of your brush and tap to the left, tap to the right. Put another one here and give it more. Tap to the left, tap to the right, tap to the left, tap to the right, tap to the left, tap to the right. I'll add another little one in here. Right here, big tree. So we got to, I'm going to take that brush and get another bigger fan brush. Okay, it's a little bit bigger. And I'm going to use the same colors. I'm going to use my blue and my yellow. And I'm going to use more blue than yellow. That way I'll get a really nice dark. So I'm going to come up here. Now, where do I want my tree? I want it over closer to the edge, which is alright. And so I'm going to put it here. I'm going to take that tree out because I want my tree to come here. Alright. And then I'm just going to tap back and forth again. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to miss. See how I didn't just, like I did over here, just randomly? So I'm going to start in the middle, and I'm going to come down a little bit so I got some space. And then tap. Alright? Just tap. Right? And then you can come down underneath that one and come out a little bit. So just come down and tap out. I have little short ones and some long ones and some we're going to put some highlights on this too. So if you messed up a little bit, that's okay, because we can fix it up with our highlights, okay? So as you get down here, you can start pushing in on your brush to make it thicker down there. All right. All right, there we go. Funny looking trees. So there we go. That'll be all right. I think that looks good. Now, what we're going to do now is we're going to put some bushes here. But you know what I'm going to do first? I'm going to lighten up my grass a bit. So I'm going to take my fan brush and I'm going to go right through the yellow. It's got green on it, that's fine. And I'm going to brighten up some of this grass. Now you can start from the end and come up. Tap, tap, tap with your fan brush. Tap, 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 tap. Add a bit of white to it if it's not bright enough. I want it bright. I want it nice and bright because we got a nice bright sunny sky shining down on this. Tap, 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 tap. Tap, 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 tap. Leave a little bit on the bottom there so you can, alright, so that you can have a bit of shadow color. Alright, alright. So we'll keep tapping just to make it a brighter color. And you can also make sure you don't lose all your shadows, the darks underneath. So just jump over a few things here. Alright, so that gives it a brighter look. And then you can separate a little bit if you want to. Alright, so we're going to keep going here and just kind of jumping around a little bit, so okay. Now, so what we want to do now is put some bushes here, just different type of trees. And what I'm going to do is same colors, blue and yellow, just to get a nice dark green, because we're going to be highlighting, so, you know, get something started. So, let's see, maybe that's not right. How do I do this? How do I do this? How do I do this? Oh, will you please be quiet? All right. So what we're going to do is put our bushes here. So I'm going to add a little bit of red to my green just to make them a little bit of a darker color so I can see them. So I'm just going to put some here. Right, I'm just going to put some down here. Hopefully you can see that. I'm going to put the highlights on, you'll be able to see it better. And I'm going to add some over here. Just keep adding, just keep mixing your colors. Don't worry if it's not exactly the same. Alright, and I'm going to add a couple of big bushes here. Like a big old tree or some big old bushy tree. It's not a regular tree, it's like it just made. Little bushy tree, a couple little bushy ones here on the side. So when we get the highlights in, you'll be able to see these better. Okay, what's in the back here? See, just tap, 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 tap. All right, I'm gonna leave that open there, and we're doing fine. See how things change? Right, it changes as you go along. Some of the ideas that you had could change. So I'm just going to put a couple here. They're hard to see because I got them almost the same color. I'll add a bit of yellow to them just so you can see them. Because I really wanted to put you know, darker colors there, so I can highlight them. But I'm going to do this for you so you can see them, alright? So these are going to be extra bushes here, right here. Alright, and that tree there, I'm going to see now. I haven't decided. It looks like it's behind everything, so I'm not sure if I want to bring that down a bit. I might do that because, see, you can make changes, and hopefully I don't, you know, make this too hard for you, okay? So I really think, but I need to lighten up this grass enough so you can see the tree. So it's a good learning experience. Now, and these are going to be highlighted more too, so we will get all that done now in a second. Let's get our fan brush back. And we will, I'm going to lighten up that area there even more, just so that when I bring the tree down, you'll be able to see it. Alright, so I don't know how far down I'll bring the tree. That looks better. Now I'll be able to see the tree, see? Alright. Maybe I'll bring it down here. Alright, so what we'll do is, what we will take our bristle brush. You need a bristle brush for the when we're tapping. It's for our bushes. Nice bristle. Same colors. Alright, I'm going to pick pink. I got white and red. I just want something different, you know, to brighten up our painting, because pinks, reds, they sell your paintings. They sell your paintings, that's for sure. People see a bit of red in your painting, they want it. They want it. That's some pretty pink. Isn't that pretty? Look at that. See? What a difference it makes, doesn't it? Even this tree up here, I think I'm gonna use the pink just to give it a different, just to brighten it up a bit. Yep. So we'll say that tree is behind there, so I'll leave that alone. Alright, so we're just going to put a little bit of pink into our painting. It's nice, isn't it? Maybe we'll put some orangey colors just to add. My brush is dirty, so I'm just going to add a bit of yellow to give it a kind of an orangey color. And I will get some colors over here. So make sure you skip over it and make them little different heights and things. Smaller ones, taller ones. A few over here, because that's where the tree's going to come down the middle there, right? Add more white if you really want to brighten them up good. Okay, so you want to really highlight them bright, make them nice and bright. Look, see these? You can tap on some whites, that really brings them out more. Okay. And down here it will look like if you put some white in there, it will separate them a little bit so that you can say, well, that's a separate bush from that one. Alright. Good. So you can add more red if you want more red. Yeah, and pure red if you want to add pure red, you can certainly do that too. Maybe we'll put some little roses or something in there, I'm not sure yet. Just try to make it up as I go along. As long as you get a bit of color in there. So you look at your colors and say, do I want that color? Do I want some reds? Or do I want yellow? Clean off your brush so it gets too messy. I'm just going to some yellow. Maybe you might want some yellow in there instead, you know, see? And add it in with what you're doing. See? And if you want a really bright yellow, add a bit of white to your yellow. And if you want to add some yellows in here, just to break it up a little bit. Okay. And we will fix that tree now, and we'll fix a few things there. So I'm going to get my fan brush again. So we go back and forth. You know, that's the way you do it. I'm going to add a little bit of my grass here. So I want to make my yellow and my white. Go underneath those bushes to show where they end. Alright, so that ends there like that. Now, if you're having a hard time getting your paint to come to the color you want, you have to let it dry, because what's happening even here is that the colors I'm putting on are blending in with the paint because it's wet. So I'll dry that, make it a bit easier for myself and for you. And all right, and then we will see how it makes that looks like it's sitting on top of the grass. See? So you do have to go back and forth. I'm sorry, I'm very sorry, but we have to go back and forth. And I'm going to fix that tree there now. Maybe here. Then I can start putting in these little okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm looking around to see what I need to fix. This here, I don't like it. So I will take my green, my blue, and my yellow. Take my blue and my yellow, nice dark green. I'm just going to tap in a little bit of dark colors in between that, because I'm finding it's a little bit too, needs a better shape. So we see something, just look at it and see if it needs any more shape or it needs something to fix it up. You can do that too. So I'll add color to that after. You can also, if you feel like you need more trees, I'm going to take my liner brush, make those trees a little taller. Now I'm taking my liner brush because I only want the tops, right? I don't want to fool around with the trees. So I'm just going to take my dark green and I'm going to put tops on these trees. It's all kinds of little tricks, see? That's why I don't mind doing this, going back and forth for you. I don't do too much. A few little highlights on those trees. Just taking my yellow and kind of not worrying about it. Just pull in these little lines like a little comma. Comma, comma, comma. See, all these little tiny details, it helps a lot because you're trying to get your three values. Right? You want to get your three values. You don't want to overdo it, but you want to get your three values. You want to be able to show shape, form, and that's how you do it with highlights and squiggly lines. Now let's see if I get that tree to look like a tree. I'm going to try. I'm going to take some of my yellow paint. see what happens. I'm just going to assume, it looks like the sun is coming in from the right. So try and dab on a little bit of, just on the right there for now. And then I will worry about the left. Just on the very top. Jumping over some. Alright, so we'll do that again after. A little bit on the left. A little bit in the middle. I want the left to be brighter. I'm just trying to darken it up with some of your green there. Right. Just go on top of what you did. I know this might be, maybe this is for people who are a little more experienced. I'll call it intermediate. How's that? For you intermediate guys. For you smart Alex. Here, so it looks like it's a shape. Might have to wait for it to dry. As you can see, the paint is moved. It's gone in with the. But you can see it looks more like a tree now. See, now you got your highlights on there. See, that's how it works. Highlights. It's better. I'll let that dry and then I'll probably put some more highlight over here because I can't seem to get that shape that I want. I don't want that to be the light side of the tree. It's hard to stop picking at it, isn't it? It's very difficult because it's so fantastic. It's fascinating, I guess is the word. It's fascinating how you're dabbing and tapping with a bit of paint and all of a sudden you see a tree or you see something. It's fascinating. It's the only word I can describe painting. It's fascinating. So now we got to make brown. So we're going to make brown out of our three colors. Now how are we going to do that? Let's see. I'm going to take a flat brush. So I'm going to put some brown around here just to make it look like there's, you know, the edge of the bank, right? So let's see if we can make some brown. Normally I would use burnt sienna, but like I said, today I just want to show you how to mix your colors. Okay? We're going to make blue and yellow. That's ultramarine blue, cad yellow, cad red, or whatever colors you got there. And that's our green, right? Now, we're going to add red to that. Red and green makes a nice brown. All right. Get a little bit more yellow. See that one? Not bad. A little bit of white to see what kind of brown. That's a nice brown, nice and dark. So I'm going to add that to the edges of my bank. I'm just going to take my chiseled edge and I'm just going to add that to the edge of my bank, okay? Just boink, boink, out. Just go right around that edge. Use the chiseled edge. Just go around. And just a skinny one as you get up here. Same here. Just want to clean up the edge here. Whenever you got banks, you need to put an edge around them. Okay? So, that will give you a nice edge to your bank. You can pull it up a little bit if you want. So there's not a line there. Smooth it out. So that's how you get your brown. See, we're using three colors. Now we're doing all these colors with just three colors. And you thought you had to have 500 different colors, didn't you? Like I did when I first started. Like, what? What am I going do with all these purples and yellows when I can make my own. I'm going to add a little bit of white to my add a little bit of white. I just mixed up a bit of white and added there. And I'm going to make these little rocks, just a little touch, 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 touch. Just a little. Just give it a look of maybe there's some rocks there or something. Just touch. Don't need to do anything else. Touch, 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 touch. Okay, so that's that. And then we will. I'm going to bring this over a little bit more. I know I'm making changes last minute, sorry. So I might just take that out here a little bit more. And so I can narrow that up there a little bit. I'm kind of finding it a bit wide. Now you don't have to do this. If you're happy with what you have there, you can leave yours alone. But I'm always trying to make adjustments, always. I like that better. Just want to show you too that you can make adjustments. You don't have to stick to everything that you have there. That's better. I kind of got a nice little hump there now. Yeah. And I'm going to use my brown to line it out a little bit, and then I'll highlight it, okay? Then I'll highlight it, probably put a couple of trees here, just pull them up. Yeah, I like that better because now they're behind. A bit better. Trying to keep my horizon line. Don't want to destroy that. I'm going to get a bit of blue paint. Just a dark blue paint. And put that, a little bit of shadow on my water. Gives kind of a little bit of movement there. You let some of that white come through there. I'll give it a little bit of movement. A little bit of blue, small bit of white, but more blue than white because I want to get some shadows in there. Just putting it on. I'm going to start adding white to that now so it won't be too dark. I like it dark down here a little bit. So catch that now while it's still wet. So pick up lots of white, clean off your brush, clean off some of the blue and clean off some of the blue and put some white on there. Okay. See that? This way you're going to get some nice, stay to the right a little bit. Now I'm going to get more white, clean off your brush a bit, more white. Clean off your brush, no paint whatsoever, and smooth that out into each other. I don't want to lose all my white, so. So I'm going to add more white to my brush. Clean your brush again. I'm trying to get more to the white side now. I'm going to start here, I'm going to pull it over. So I'm trying to show you some different things that you can do, you know, because this will help you in your other paintings too, see? Right, isn't that nice? Look at that. That's pretty, isn't it? It's just that I love to pick. I'm going to get my yellow and my white. I want to add some more highlights. Maybe a bit more green. Can't forget about this up here. So I'm going to tap that on the edge here. Just tap, tap, tap. See? Now we got a green spot up there. Now I'm going to add a little more white to my green, and I'm going to add a few little highlights coming down over those rocks. Just give it more natural look, okay? These are all the things you can do on the last minute. All right. Want a little more highlight, just get a little bit of yellow and a bit of white. Make sure you try to keep some of your grassy areas so you can see it. You know what I mean? See the darks in there? See? Now if you lose your darks, just take a bit of your green, make it out of your blue, and take a dark green and put it in between if you lost, you know, because you still want your contrast, all right? So we still look for contrast. We don't want to lose our contrast. Contrast and all these things that I'm mentioning while I'm painting is what people are asking me. They're saying, well, how do I make my paintings pop? Well, contrast. See how it's making the grass pop better there now? Better there now? Better there now? Oh, darn. Went into the water by accident. Alright, so see how those darks now bring that out a bit more, the lights, but make sure you don't go over the lights, you know, keep your lights because you went through trouble of putting them in. Right, so when you add contrast, see, makes everything pop. See that? Pretty cool, hey? So the only thing I want to do now is, I want to do lots of things. I would love to add a big tree here or something, but I don't want to go too far with it. You know, we got some nice little colors here. We might add a little bit of color in our grass, maybe some little flowers, some little poppies or something. But for now, I want to get my liner brush. Get a long liner brush, as long as you can find it with the sharpest point. All right, I got them in my Amazon shop if anybody's looking. It could be a flower. That's okay. That's okay. Alright, so just got some flowers down here on the bottom. Trying to get them to move is the thing. Alright, so I got some of the little bushes and that down here that I wanted. And what I want to do is just add a few little flowers. So I'm going to keep using my little liner brush, and I'm going to clean it off of it. I'm going to dip into my red. Like I said, red is always a good color. I'm going to put a red dot here, a red dot here, a red dot here, a red dot here, and here, and here, and up here. I don't want it to look too symmetrical. And then touch. Touch, touch, touch. To make it a little different, just put them either on one side or both sides, or just underneath, or just on top, you know, just give them a little bit of a different shape. Because they're probably blown in the wind and everything, who knows, right? So I'm just going to take my yellow paint, And put a few little flowers in the field. A little bit of white. And yellow. Yellow, white. Oh, that's a bit too big. Alright, then yellow. Well, too big because they're supposed to be far away, right? You know what I mean? You want to create distance, you don't want them to be too big. It'll be like... I think that's it. I have a hard time stopping. A few little flowers, that's fine. And then we will... What do you think, guys? You want any more? What else would you like to do with your... How about a little butterfly or something? I'm going to try a little butterfly. I'm going to take a very small brush, flat. And I'm going to try, maybe I shouldn't try this. Try a little red butterfly, a little bit of yellow on it or something. Just get some colors going on there. And maybe I'll make a smiley face. And a sad face. Yeah, it's a cute little butterfly, isn't it? Smiley face, sad. It was pretty simple. Put a couple little petals here. I'll just put some dark color on one side and white on the other. I'm just touching, touch, touch. Make a few little pebbles, rocks, sort of. So many things you can do with these little tiny details. You don't have to do very much. Because it's standing out really nice there. That's kind of nice. They're giving a kind of a focal point, isn't it? Adding little bits of white. Huh? It's kind of nice, isn't it? Just a little bit on top of what you just did. Don't destroy what you did. Just on top, you know, around the area. Well, thank you very much for painting along with me, and I hope you enjoyed that painting. And if you liked this video, then you can subscribe so you can get more free videos. And you can like, share if you could, if you think it could help other people. And if you have any questions, just leave it in the comments section below. And or you can email me at allisonprior@yahoo.com. So I'll see you in the next video.